7 leadership lessons hidden in Scripture. Some of the greatest leadership lessons ever taught were written thousands of years ago. Long before modern business books, long before leadership seminars, long before social media influencers. Scripture contains timeless principles that have shaped leaders for generations. Today, we'll explore 7 powerful leadership lessons hidden in Scripture that can help you lead with wisdom, courage, and purpose. This is Momentum Leadership, where discipline builds character, vision shapes the future, and growth creates great leaders. Join us and keep moving forward. Leadership principles are timeless. While leadership books, seminars, and courses have become increasingly popular in modern times, some of the most powerful leadership lessons were written thousands of years ago. Scripture is filled with stories of leaders who succeeded and leaders who failed. Through their victories and mistakes, we discover principles that remain just as relevant today as they were centuries ago. These lessons are not reserved for pastors, ministers, or religious leaders. They apply to teachers, parents, coaches, business owners, community leaders, and anyone who influences others. Because leadership is ultimately about guiding people, making decisions, building trust, and serving a greater purpose. Throughout this video, we will explore 7 powerful leadership lessons hidden in Scripture. We will learn why humility matters, why courage is essential, why integrity builds trust, why serving others strengthens leadership, why wisdom should guide decisions, why perseverance leads to growth, and why vision gives leadership direction. Whether you consider yourself a leader today or aspire to become one tomorrow, these timeless principles can help you lead with greater wisdom, character, and purpose. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Great leaders have a clear vision. One of the most important qualities of effective leadership is vision. Great leaders see possibilities where others see problems. They look beyond current circumstances and imagine what could be. A powerful example of this principle is found in the story of Nehemiah. When Nehemiah learned that the walls of Jerusalem had been broken down and the city lay in ruins, he was deeply troubled. Many people knew about the problem. Many people complained about the problem. But Nehemiah chose to do something different. He envisioned restoration. He saw a rebuilt city before a single stone had been replaced. In Nehemiah chapter 2, verses 17 and 18, he gathered the people and said, "Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, and we will no longer be in disgrace." Instead of focusing on what was broken, Nehemiah focused on what could be rebuilt. He presented a clear vision, and people responded. Scripture tells us that the people replied, "Let us start rebuilding." That is the power of vision. Vision gives people a reason to move forward. Vision transforms discouragement into determination. Vision turns a group of individuals into a united team. The same principle applies today. People follow leaders who know where they are going. Without vision, teams drift. Motivation declines. Progress slows. People become busy, but not productive. Effort becomes scattered. But when leaders communicate a clear vision, something changes. People unite around a common purpose. Effort becomes focused. Energy becomes directed. Momentum begins to grow. This is why Proverbs 29:18 reminds us, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Vision provides direction. It helps people understand not only what they are doing, but why they are doing it. Whether you are leading a classroom, a business, a family, a sports team, or a community organization, your vision matters. People need to know where they are headed. The leadership lesson from Nehemiah is simple but powerful. Don't just identify problems. Present a vision for the future, because great leaders inspire others by helping them see what is possible. Key leadership principle: vision creates direction. Lesson 2. Leaders serve before they lead. One of the greatest misconceptions about leadership is that leadership is about power, authority, or status. Many people believe that leadership means being in charge, being recognized, or being served by others. But Scripture presents a very different picture. One of the most powerful leadership lessons in the Bible is the principle of servant leadership, and no one demonstrated this principle better than Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus influenced thousands of people. His teachings continue to impact billions around the world today. Yet despite his authority, he consistently chose to serve others. One of the clearest examples is found in John chapter 13. On the night before his crucifixion, Jesus gathered with his disciples for a meal. In that culture, washing feet was considered one of the lowest tasks a servant could perform. Yet Jesus did something that shocked everyone in the room. John 13:4-5 tells us that he rose from the table, wrapped a towel around his waist, poured water into a basin, and began washing his disciples' feet. Imagine that for a moment. The teacher serving the students, the master serving the followers, the leader serving the team. Afterward, Jesus explained the lesson. In John 13:14-15, he said, "Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you." Jesus was teaching that true leadership is not about elevating yourself above others. It is about lifting others up. It is about meeting needs, providing support, showing compassion, and helping people succeed. This principle appears again in Mark 10:45, where Jesus said, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." Those words completely redefine leadership. The world's model often says, "Lead so others will serve you," but Scripture teaches, "Lead by serving others." The most respected leaders focus on helping people grow. They ask questions like, how can I help? How can I support? How can I encourage? How can I develop others? Whether you are leading a classroom, a sports team, a business, a church, or a family, people are more likely to trust you when they know you genuinely care about them. Servant leadership builds loyalty. It builds trust, and it creates lasting influence. People may follow a position for a while, but they follow a servant leader because they respect the person behind the position. The lesson from Jesus is clear. Leadership is not measured by how many people serve you. Leadership is measured by how many people you serve. When leaders put the needs of others before their own desire for recognition, they create environments where people can thrive, and that is where true influence begins. Lesson 3: Character matters more than talent. When people think about leadership, they often focus on talent. They admire intelligence, skill, charisma, or natural ability. And while those qualities are valuable, Scripture teaches that something even more important determines the long-term success of a leader. That quality is character. Talent may attract attention, but character earns trust. One of the greatest examples of this principle is found in the life of Joseph. Joseph's story begins in Genesis chapter 37. As a young man, Joseph received dreams from God about a remarkable future. But before those dreams became reality, he faced tremendous hardship. His brothers betrayed him, sold him into slavery, and sent him far from home. Most people would have become bitter. Many would have abandoned their values. But Joseph remained faithful. Even as a slave, he worked diligently and earned the trust of those around him. Genesis 39:2 tells us, "The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered." Joseph's success was not simply the result of ability. It was the result of character. Later, Joseph faced another test. Potiphar's wife attempted to persuade him to do what he knew was wrong. No one appeared to be watching. No one would have known. Yet Joseph refused. In Genesis 39:9, he said, "How then could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" That moment revealed the true strength of his character. Character is doing what is right when it would be easier to do wrong. It is remaining faithful to your values when compromise seems profitable. It is choosing integrity, even when nobody is watching. Joseph's integrity came at a cost. After refusing Potiphar's wife, he was falsely accused and thrown into prison. Yet even there, he continued to serve faithfully. He continued to work diligently. And he continued to trust God. Years later, his character positioned him for leadership. In Genesis chapter 41, Pharaoh recognized Joseph's wisdom and integrity and placed him in charge of Egypt. The prisoner became a governor. The slave became a leader. Why? Because Joseph possessed something more valuable than talent. He possessed character. The same principle applies today. Skills may open doors. Education may create opportunities. Talent may help you advance quickly, but character determines whether people continue to trust you. People follow leaders whose actions match their words. Leaders who keep their promises. Leaders who tell the truth. Leaders who remain consistent regardless of circumstances. The lesson from Joseph is simple. Never sacrifice character for short-term success. Talent may get you noticed, but character creates lasting credibility. Lesson 4. Courage is a leadership requirement. Leadership is not the absence of fear. In fact, many of the greatest leaders in history experienced fear, uncertainty, and doubt. What separated them from others was their willingness to act despite those feelings. That is the essence of courage. One of the most powerful examples of courageous leadership in Scripture is found in the life of David. Before David became king of Israel, he was a young shepherd boy. At that time, the Israelites faced a powerful enemy known as the Philistines. Their champion was a giant warrior named Goliath. According to 1 Samuel 17, Goliath stood before the Israelite army day after day, challenging anyone to fight him. The soldiers were terrified. Even King Saul and his experienced warriors were afraid. For 40 days, no one accepted the challenge. Fear had paralyzed an entire nation. Then David arrived. He was not a soldier. He was not highly trained in warfare. He was not the strongest person on the battlefield. But David saw the situation differently. While others focused on the size of the giant, David focused on the power of God. In 1 Samuel 17:32, David said, "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Imagine the courage required to make that statement. Everyone else saw defeat. David saw possibility. Everyone else saw danger. David saw opportunity. When King Saul questioned him, David explained that God had helped him defeat both lions and bears while protecting his father's sheep. His confidence came from experience and faith. In 1 Samuel 17:45, David declared to Goliath, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." Moments later, David defeated the giant. His courage changed the course of history. But the lesson is larger than a battle. Leadership often requires difficult decisions. There will be moments when leaders must stand alone, moments when they must speak difficult truths, moments when they must take calculated risks while others hesitate. Courage does not mean you never feel fear. Fear is a natural human emotion. Even courageous leaders experience uncertainty. The difference is that courageous leaders refuse to allow fear to control their actions. They move forward despite their concerns. They do what is right even when it is uncomfortable. Joshua 1:9 reminds us, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." The same principle applies today. Whether you are leading a classroom, a family, a sports team, a business, or a community organization, people look to leaders during challenging times. When leaders demonstrate courage, others gain confidence. When leaders move forward with conviction, others find the strength to follow. The lesson from David is clear. Do not allow fear to determine your decisions. Face challenges with faith. Take action when action is needed. And remember that courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to move forward despite it. Lesson 5. Wise leaders seek wise counsel. No leader has all the answers. One of the greatest mistakes a leader can make is believing they must solve every problem alone. Scripture reminds us that wisdom often comes through listening to others. A powerful example is found in the relationship between Moses and his father-in-law, Jethro. After leading the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses took on the enormous responsibility of settling every dispute among the people. From morning until evening, he listened to case after case. The workload was overwhelming. Moses was becoming exhausted, and the people were waiting far too long for help. When Jethro observed what was happening, he recognized that Moses' approach was not sustainable. In Exodus 18:17-18, Jethro told him, "What you are doing is not good. You and these people who come to you will only wear yourselves out. The work is too heavy for you. You cannot handle it alone." Jethro then offered a better solution. In Exodus 18:21, he advised Moses to appoint capable, trustworthy leaders over groups of people, allowing them to handle the simpler matters while Moses focused on the most important decisions. Moses listened. He accepted the advice. And in Exodus 18:24, we read that Moses followed Jethro's counsel. That decision transformed his leadership. Instead of trying to do everything himself, he developed other leaders. The people were served more effectively, and Moses was able to focus on the responsibilities that mattered most. The lesson is just as important today. Leaders who refuse advice often make avoidable mistakes. But strong leaders are teachable. They seek feedback. They ask questions. They listen to experienced voices, and they continue to grow. Seeking counsel is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of wisdom. As Proverbs 15:22 reminds us, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. Whether you lead a classroom, a business, a sports team, a church, or a family, surround yourself with people who will challenge you, encourage you, and speak truth with honesty. The wisest leaders never stop learning because they understand that leadership is not about knowing everything. It is about being willing to learn. Lesson 6. Perseverance produces results. Every leader will face seasons when progress feels slow. There will be setbacks, criticism, delays, and moments when quitting seems easier than continuing. The difference between average leaders and great leaders is often not talent or intelligence. It is perseverance. One of the greatest examples of perseverance in Scripture is Noah. God gave Noah an extraordinary assignment. In Genesis 6:14, God instructed him to build an ark because a great flood was coming upon the earth. At the time, there was no visible evidence that such a flood was about to happen. Yet Noah chose to trust God. Day after day, he continued building. Year after year, he remained faithful to the task he had been given. Imagine the criticism he must have faced. People likely questioned his judgment. They may have laughed at him, mocked his efforts, or dismissed his warnings. Still, Noah refused to quit. He did not allow public opinion to determine his commitment. Instead, he remained focused on his mission. Genesis 6:22 summarizes Noah's response with these remarkable words. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. That single verse reveals the heart of perseverance: faithful obedience, consistent effort, and unwavering commitment. Eventually, the rain came, the floodwaters rose, and Noah's perseverance was rewarded. The ark that many had doubted became the instrument of salvation for Noah, his family, and the animals God had commanded him to preserve. His faithfulness accomplished exactly what God intended. The same principle applies to leadership today. Every worthwhile goal faces obstacles. Building a successful business takes time. Developing a winning team requires patience. Raising a family demands consistency. Leading a school, a church, or an organization involves challenges that cannot be solved overnight. There will be days when your efforts seem unnoticed. Days when progress appears slow. Days when you wonder if your work is making any difference. Those are the moments when perseverance matters most. The Apostle Paul reminds us in Galatians 6:9, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." That is a powerful promise for every leader. Keep planting, keep building, keep encouraging, keep leading with integrity. The results may not appear immediately, but faithful effort is never wasted. Great leaders understand that success is rarely achieved through one dramatic moment. It is usually the result of small, consistent actions repeated over time. The lesson from Noah is simple. Remain faithful to the mission you have been given. Continue working even when progress seems slow, because perseverance today creates progress tomorrow. Lesson 7. Great leaders develop other leaders. One of the greatest mistakes leaders can make is believing that leadership is only about personal achievement. Building a successful career, leading a large organization, or accomplishing impressive goals. Those things matter, but Scripture teaches that a leader's greatest success is found in the people they develop. One of the clearest examples is the relationship between the Apostle Paul and Timothy. Paul recognized great potential in the young man and chose to invest in him. He didn't simply give Timothy advice. He taught him, encouraged him, corrected him, trusted him with responsibility, and prepared him to lead the early church after Paul was gone. Paul understood that leadership is not meant to end with one person. It is meant to multiply. In 2 Timothy 2:2, Paul wrote, "And the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others." Notice the pattern. Paul taught Timothy. Timothy would teach faithful people. Those people would then teach others. That is leadership multiplication. Paul wasn't building followers. He was developing future leaders. This principle remains just as important today. Whether you are a teacher, a parent, a coach, a pastor, or a business leader, your influence grows when you help others discover and develop their potential. Great leaders are not threatened by talented people. They celebrate them. They create opportunities for others to learn. They share knowledge instead of keeping it to themselves. They understand that empowering others strengthens the entire team. The writer of Proverbs reminds us, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance." Proverbs 21:5. Developing leaders requires diligence. It takes patience, time, encouragement, and a willingness to invest in people, even when growth is slow. Jesus demonstrated this same principle. Although he preached to thousands, he spent much of his ministry preparing 12 disciples who would continue his work after his resurrection. Before returning to heaven, he commanded them, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." Matthew 28:19-20. His mission continued because he had developed others to carry it forward. The same is true of every great leader. Your greatest legacy is not the awards you receive, the titles you hold, or the positions you occupy. It is the people whose lives are stronger, because you invested in them. Because leadership is never measured only by what you accomplish. It is measured by the leaders you help create. Scripture teaches us that great leadership is not merely about authority. It is about vision, service, character, courage, wisdom, perseverance, and developing others. These principles have guided leaders for thousands of years, and they remain just as relevant today. Whether you lead a classroom, a family, a business, a sports team, a ministry, or a community, these timeless lessons can help you become a stronger leader. Because great leadership may be hidden in Scripture, but its impact is visible everywhere. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Momentum Leadership for more leadership, discipline, success, and personal growth content. Comment below which of these 7 leadership lessons speaks to you the most. And remember, leadership is not about position. Leadership is about influence.